The story of the talented but short-lived god Baldur. Baldur, whose name means splendor, is the most handsome and beloved god in Norse mythology. Because he is the god of light and goodness, a wise and bright man, who has never lied once. He is the son of the god couple and twin brother of the blind god Hoder. His wife is the faithful goddess Nanna, and his son is the god Forseti, the god representing justice. They lived in the silver-roofed Breidablik castle set on golden pillars, where no impurity could exist. In general, an exemplary, ideal family, no one could ask for anything more. Talented but short-lived, Baldur's fate was tied to a tragedy that was the source of the entire Ragnarok battle later on. Baldur dreamed of his death early on. His mother, the goddess Frigg, went everywhere, forcing all creatures to swear not to harm her son. However, she ignored mistletoe because she thought this plant was too small and harmless. Loki knew this, and because he still held a grudge when he saw the gods punish his monster children, he decided to play them the cruelest trick. He made an arrow out of mistletoe, and tricked Baldur's blind brother Hoder into accidentally throwing it at him. So, Baldur died in the mourning of all the gods and all dwarfs, giants, and all creatures throughout the 9 worlds. Baldur's burial boat was lit on fire, and his wife Nanna jumped into the fire to follow her husband to eternity. There was also Baldur's horse sacrificed along, and a dwarf named Lidr, who was cutting in line to see the crowd clearly, was immediately kicked by Thor into the fire and burned to ashes. But Odin and Frigg have not yet succumbed to fate. The god Hermod, another son of Odin unknown to whom, listened to his father's summons and volunteered to ride on the 8-legged horse Sleipnir to the underworld of Helheim to plead with the goddess Hel to spare Baldur's soul. Said that, if it is true that all living creatures on earth love Baldur so much, then let them mourn. If all living things mourn Baldur's death, she will release his soul to earth. Indeed, all creatures on earth loved Baldur and mourned his death, except Loki. He turned into a giantess named Thok, sat down in a deep cave and refused to cry for Baldur, so Baldur had to stay in Helheim. Those involved in Baldur's death all received punishment. The youngest god of Asgard, the god Vali, the child of Odin and the giantess Rindr, was born just a day later and grew to adulthood, immediately killing Hoder. Poor blind god, because he was deceived by Loki, he killed his brother by mistake, his hands were stained with blood. As for Loki, he was later punished by the gods. His 2 children Narfi and Vali were cursed to kill each other like the way he treated his brothers Hoder and Baldur. Loki was also chained to a rock in the cave and had a snake above his head dripping painful venom down his body. The death of god Baldur proved that the gods are not immortal. They can still suffer damage, old age, and death like mortals. This event was the fireworks signal that started the Great War Ragnarok. But after the end, the brothers Baldur and Hoder will revive, and together with the rare surviving gods, build a new world even more beautiful than before. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.